All right. Hey everyone. It's Anita Krpata and
Kelly Krpata.
and Kelly Cox, a dear friend of mine for 15 years, asked me. She's part of our team now here at Brighter Days, and she asked us to film a little video to share with all of their team pages. All of our board has team pages from previous companies. So we thought we'd put this together. We're going to try to be short. And there's so much more behind this whole story, but we wanted to just give you a little snack of, kind of catch you up for all of you who probably knew me back in Days or maybe at one of my previous companies, and introduce myself to all of you that I've never had the pleasure of meeting, just so you get a little idea of who we are as the founders of Brighter Days and really what we're trying to do over here. So first of all, for those of you who do know me from I have the warmest and best memories from those years, and it really stuck with me through the rest of my career as I went on to work for several other direct selling companies, leading marketing and sales, and also at a bunch of DTC companies. And I learned so much, and I really missed some critical things. I never, ever in my life had a dream of wanting to be a founder and CEO. It was never part of the plan, but life was moving really well. Kelly and I were happily married. We have two girls who are now, teenagers, and everything was rolling the way that we thought it was supposed to roll. We were working really hard and just pushing on all cylinders. And everything worked until it didn't. And there were a lot of different bumps along the way, but the biggest bump was when Kelly was diagnosed with cancer. And so you can kind of take it from here and sort of talk about how that pivot sort of transformed our future.
Yeah, so that was kind of the impetus to start the research that's behind Brighter Days. For background, I had stage 4 colorectal cancer. It was not hereditary, so that meant it was from the environment. When I asked my doctor what caused it, she said, "Don't worry about it." So that kind of alarmed me a little bit and sent me down the path of trying to figure out what possibly could have caused it. There's a lot of things that we put in our body that it kind of pointed to, but that's really kind of a lifestyle change from top to bottom. So I started looking at things that we put in our body that could actually help. I've always been interested in nutrition. I felt like we ate pretty healthy. We always ate organic. Actually, my mom was a dietitian when I was growing up, so I was always kind of aware of the things that we eat. And as I kind of went down that path a little bit, I realized that there were a lot of nutrients that we just didn't get in our life anymore. And basically what had happened was our life got more complicated, but our diet and our nutrition didn't keep up with that. So most people, I think it's like 80 or 85% of people in the United States are nutrient deficient across the board. So we started looking at what we could actually consume that would make a difference. We weren't chasing trends. We weren't chasing the latest root from the Amazon rainforest. We were looking for everyday nutrients that we just didn't get anymore. So when we found that, we were starting to put the not only the product together, the formula, but also kind of what we wanted to do as a company. And there were a few non-negotiables. The first one is it had to be easy. So, our lives are complicated enough. We don't need a full plate of pills. We don't need a whole regime, morning, noon, and night. So we came up with a powdered nutritional drink. It's 1 scoop, 1 minute, 1 time a day. It's intentionally a powder, so you can have it delivered in water. It makes it more absorbable. It adds hydration to the body along with the electrolytes that are in it, which are extremely important as well. And we can get into all the nutrients on another subsequent video. And the second thing was it had to work. Having gone through cancer, at this point it was 3 years almost, there were so many things that didn't work, and we didn't want to promise people that they would feel certain benefits if they weren't going to get them. So we drew a line in the sand and we said if it wasn't going to work, then we were either going to keep working on it until it did, or we just weren't going to bring it to market. And we had a full perception test. The results were amazing. So we went forward with it. And the last thing is it had to be authentic. It had to be us. We're not wellness gurus. We're working parents that have a complicated life. So it kind of had to resonate with that. We don't claim to be perfect. We don't claim that we eat perfectly. This is almost more for that, because it's for when you don't eat perfectly. When you eat the last bite of mac and cheese from your kid's plate because that's the only thing you've eaten all day. That's the reality of life. So we wanted to give something that complemented all of our lives, and I think that we did that.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a great overview of so much of it. And at the end of the day, like Kelly said, I mean, we're in a trust deficit with wellness. And for those of us that are kind of in my demo, we have tried almost everything, and yet we continue to stop the scroll and read about the next product or the next thing. And there's a lot of exhaustion and fatigue over trying to get to the bottom of what it is that they're talking about. I mean, I've been the victim of so many products that I take. Kelly jokes all the time. I used to have a closet full of pills and a fridge shelf with different drinks and serums and things. And he would ask me, like, what is that for? And I'm like, I honestly have no idea. I just saw it and it felt like something I should be taking. None of it changed the way I feel dramatically. On a daily basis, I still had sleep issues, digestion issues, energy issues. I have to say that's probably the number one thing that surprised us the most with this product is, first of all, how many of us, I thought I was alone, like needing to go lay down in the afternoon. I thought it was like me and my 80-year-old mom were like the two that took naps in the afternoon. But as I've done this with so many board members and brand partners, a lot of us, are in that same boat where we just feel like we need to lay down, or a lot of other people needed an extra cup of coffee in the afternoon just to push through. And with BRYTR Days, because it actually helps with energy, which wasn't necessarily, this is like an anecdote, but it wasn't necessarily something that we set out to specifically say, oh, we want this to give you more energy. But because we focused on foundational benefits, because we went back to the basics, and just said, what is the basic nutrition that our bodies need that we're no longer getting through food, it actually is having all these other benefits because we are treating the body as a system and we are raising our foundational baseline the way that it used to be, the way that our grandparents used to be naturally through the food that they ate and all of that. So we could go on and on about that, but getting back to the non-negotiable of being authentic, that's kind of where the brand partners come in. So I obviously have 15 years of experience working in direct selling companies. I've actually jumped in and out of direct selling companies, and every time I leave, there's something about it that I miss. I mean, there's a lot of things about direct selling that are broken, that aren't working, that haven't worked. But the one thing that has always worked is the community, the camaraderie, the authenticity, and the girlfriends helping girlfriends, and that is really the way that we all prefer to shop. And it is so important to know that, because when your friend has tried something and they tell you, it just has so much more meaning. And we can all kind of share and learn from each other. So we are in our private release phase, which means we're not officially launched, although we are available for sale to the public. And we're treating this period as a learning period where we are working very closely with our brand partners. I mean, Kelly and I text and call different brand partners almost every single day. Everyone is just like an extension of our little startup team. We work with everyone directly. We share content. We share ideas. We brainstorm. We troubleshoot. I mean, we are figuring out how to build this company to be the best solution for people like us, who have the same challenges and problems. So being part of the brand partner program, it's not just being part of a company at the ground level and helping shape a business, but it's also obviously an income opportunity. There is an opportunity to earn a healthy commission. We are not direct selling. We won't be direct selling, but we do have all of the benefits of direct selling. We're also not just affiliate. Affiliate commissions typically are quite low, and they run on different engines. We are somewhere in between, and that's kind of something that we're also trying to create with this business. So there's so much more to share with that, but we just wanted to give you a little taste of this program, have you see us, hear from us, and just here to tell you that, like I just said, we are more than happy to jump on a small group call, a one-on-one call. If you do decide to be a brand partner, we will have live meetings where you'll meet us, and we have 3 other co-founders who are each incredible. You'll see all their info on the website, but they would be on the call as well, and we're standing by to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know.
All right, thank you.